One of the most damaging things to a roofing system, like a tile system, is from third parties. People walking on it that don't know how. Most often solar installers on residential, HVAC guys on commercial work. And so this is actually the perfect roof to train on. This style right here is one of the more durable ones, one of the easier ones to walk. So I'd like to take up my trainees on these. Now, generally, when you're applying your feet, you're going to want to go towards the bottom where there's an overlap. If you put it on the center or the top, which may seem more comforting, you've pretty much got an air gap under there that you're likely to break it. So some people tell you not to span across and to go like this, but then when you lift your foot, you're likely to apply pressure like that. So I like to span across. Now, if you're on a flat tile, you're going to want to avoid the corners. You're going to put your foot in the center of the tile. It's not as big of a deal on this style. However, there's also some things you want to avoid. First off, the thing about tile, unfortunately, is that because there was so little regulation, especially prior to 2010, you never know what you're going to get. This whole roof might not even be fastened. There might be 1 or 2 nails across this entire building. Alternatively, they might have 2 or 3 screws per tile. It all depends on your wind zone. All depends on your local enforcement and your installer. Now this is something that I was taught by kind of one of the grandfathers of tile in America, was to give a little gentle tap at the base. And that tells me these are fastened. And so that gives me a little bit more surety that this isn't going to slide. Now, where I want to avoid stepping, this is your hip. Your hip is one of the key areas that they miss fasteners. A lot of times it's because when they have to install this, they have to cut the piece off. Well, your nail holes are here, all the way at the top of the tile. So especially, say, a small tile like this, not even fastened. So I always try to keep at least 3 tiles away from the hip. Same goes for the valley. A lot of times those valleys are never fastened at all. And so stepping on those is not only a great way to slip, but stepping on them is a great way to damage the tile. Now, we're just gently walking across. Now, if we want to step across, what I'm going to do is I'm going to position my foot like this, and then I'm going to step across like that. And that's your basic transition. That's the very basics of how to walk tile. Now, it's going to feel scary walking down when you're stepping down. On certain tiles, if it's a flat tile, you always want to walk spread like this. On this type of tile, now that I'm pointed down, I don't mind pointing my feet down, because remember, as I said, as you're stepping, you're going to end up rolling your weight a little bit towards the front. Well, now I'm rolling that extra weight towards the edge of the tile. Whereas if I'm turned around, I'd be rolling that weight up, which is going to cause it to break. Now, this type of tile, I could probably jump, and I probably wouldn't break it. But just in general, try to maintain that rule. If you've got a real nice flat tile, definitely stay towards the edge, kind of like that roof across the street there. See if I can't zoom in there. So if you've got a flat tile like that, always keep your feet spread left to right at the base of it, just to be safe. And that's our daily lesson on how to walk tile.